building supply place in Hattiesburg, and we built houses. And I had an engineer that worked for me that designed and drew the plans. So this was built pretty dang good. I mean, you can see the anchor boats that were placed all the way around, and the rat seal that was around it, you can see it's gone almost everywhere. And that was anchored down. And then all the interior walls were shot down with a ram set. So they were all nailed to the floor. And the cabinets were nailed to the floor. Everything was, I mean, you can see where we shot it. You shoot it, you know, with a ram set with a 22 bullet or whatever cartridge. So all that was in there pretty solid, and it was built, I'd say it's built about as good as you can build something. I mean, it was a wood structure. It had board and bat siding on the outside, and on the interior it had tongue and groove cypress on the inside. But we call it a rat seal, but it's put down. And when you do the slab, you leave these anchor bolts in the concrete when you do the concrete. So those anchor bolts are anchored down into the concrete, and then you drill and you put the, I mean, you can see how it's done right here. You put the anchor bolt and you bolt it on, and then you even nail. We even used the concrete nails, and it was nailed additionally besides the anchor bolt.
Do you recall like how far the bolts were apart or anything like that?
Well, you can see that most of them are probably 3 foot, 2.5 to 3 foot apart. The anchor bolts. Well,
that one's longer over here.
I would imagine you used the longest piece that you could.
Right.
And you pieced it together because that's how you. I mean, that's very common in the building. A 2x4 is shot in from the bottom. I mean, you lay the wall down and you shoot it from the bottom and from the sides, and then you stand the walls up. That's what that is right there, that anchor right there.
Okay.
It looks like 2 on that one, and this was a double. I mean, that was a stud and that was a stud. It looks like every stud had two nails into the stud, and then you can tell those nails came from the bottom, and then that nail right there was toe nailed in from the side, and you can see right there was toe nailed in. It was it was decked with plywood and felt, and then it was tin on top of that. Here's a picture of what it used to look like. I don't know if you can see it with that glare on it.
We'll see. Let me get a shadow on it. Maybe. Yep.
And then I can show you. It had a back porch on the back of it. The windows were weather shield windows and doors, which are designed to withstand a stronger hurricane. You know, they were the tempered glass that you can shoot the 2x4 in. Not that it mattered when you take the whole door, but the windows and doors were good stuff because I owned a building supply place and I put the best material you could put in it. You see a pretty big piece of one down there. You know, that's a big. I mean, that broke off from a tree, but that limb's pretty good size diameter. And that tree right there is separated from this root ball. That one is facing that way. I mean, it was brutal right here. I mean, some of them were, you can tell they just flipped over. That one on the other side of the ditch was not, nothing was on the other side of the ditch. And you see a root ball, you know, that tree that's on the other side, that tree's been moved over there.
So it didn't come from there?
Yeah, no. That pine tree right there has just been debarked. I mean, and even this tree's, you know. We think what happened is, if you look, his truck was parked right here. We think what happened is, looking at the tires, it looks like it twisted it. It twisted it around and twisted that truck around like this, and then it took it right through the middle of the house. Because if you go down there and look at the truck is wrapped with the Romex, the wiring that you use to wire the house. The front bumper of the truck has got hundreds of feet of Romex, so it went right through the middle of the house is what we think. Because you can see the tire marks. It was parked right there, and it twisted it around. I mean, you can see the tire. It twisted it. There's the tire track, and then it took it right through the building. Well, I think it's pretty. If you'd saw the dirt for the first few days after after this event, you could tell that the eye came right through there, and the eye came right through here, and it left a trail. And you can tell over on top of the hill that that was the eye headed where it's the worst over there.
Where were you guys at?
We were in Hattiesburg. My son had came to Hattiesburg, thank God for Easter. And that building that was up there, I think the suction got it, but obviously it was coming through because there were some big trees in that clump of woods there too. So that was on the peripheral, but it was pretty wide right here. I mean, it was from over there to over there. That was a pretty wide path.
So you said your son was with you. Does he normally live here?
Yeah, he normally stays here, but he had came to Hattiesburg for Easter.
And what's your name again? Can you tell me?
Greg Courtney.
Nice. Can you spell it for me, just to make sure you get it right?
Gregcourtney. 5 metal building, and the posts were anchored in. When we originally built the building, they were anchored in 4x4x4. We built a 4x4x4 concrete slab, and then anchored the post to that. Then we poured an 8-inch slab because it's used for agricultural purposes. We poured an 8-inch slab around all that. And you see on one end, it took that up out of the ground, the entire concrete block and the piece of that beam, which is pretty nice sized beam, and it bent it like it was a spaghetti stick. So that was pretty impressive to be able to bend that, to be able to push that up out of the ground, that 4x4 that was anchored pretty dang good. So